Hello, viewers. Welcome to Sunday Politics on Trust Television. I am Ali M. Ali, your host. INEC makes U-turn, extend deadline for party primaries. INEC bows to pressure, extend primaries deadline. INEC received knocks as its extend deadline for party primary. These are some of the headlines that headline the sudden extension of the deadline for the conduct and completion of party primaries for the 2023 general election. If you recall, the electoral body had fixed June 3rd as the deadline for the submission of names of flag bearers and had resisted pressure, especially by Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, to shift the date forward. Out of the blue, and barely 24 hours to the conduct of the presidential primary, INEC made a sudden volte-face and extended the deadline by 6 days. Expectedly, this has generated furious reaction. The PDP described the extension as amounting to shifting the goal in the middle of the game. With me in the studio to discuss this development are two party stalwarts of the People Democratic Party, Alhaji Umar Sani, former media advisor to the former Vice President Namadi Sambo, a member of the 2019 PDP Presidential Campaign Council, and Alhaji Ibrahim Modibo, the Northeast Vice Chairman of the Social Democratic Party, and one time a stalwart of the APC, and also at a point he was the Director of Publicity of the All People's Party and the All Nigerian People's Party. Gentlemen, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you. Ali M. Ali.
Yes, before we proceed and go into the topic of the day, which is the extension of the party primaries, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, gentlemen, beginning with you, Malam Umar, we discuss it. Viewers, we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we go into the topic proper. Welcome back, viewers. In case you're just joining us, we're discussing the extension of the deadline for the submission of party names by political parties, which the INEC extended forward by 6 days. Let me begin with you, Malam Umar. The PDP reacted, well, expectedly, was kicked against. What informed this rather harsh reaction?
We have had some issues previously with INEC over some of their decisions in 2019. And as the countdown to 2023 has begun, we are very wary and very suspect of every of their actions. And we expect that INEC should take a firm decision on any matter. I should not be influenced from any quarters as to their decisions. That is why we have never shifted from all our decisions. Even if we shifted, it was within the time frame that INEC has provided. And I think we have finished our presidential primary, which is the last lap of all our election process. And we are still within the time limit as provided by INEC. That is, we are supposed to submit names by June 3rd. Now, if you take a look at the ruling party, they are even yet to screen their presidential aspirants. Much more of conducting the election. They are shifting the post. Initially, they put a date from 30th to 31st. Now they shifted it back to 29th, and now it has also been shifted again, which means they had a pretty good idea that they could influence INEC to do some, juggling of these dates. And the alibi that is the Inter-Party Advisory Council that actually negotiated for this thing is not correct, because the Inter-Party Advisory Council should also include the PDP. And so for the PDP to have issued a statement denouncing that action and saying that that action amounts to shifting the goalpost at the middle of the game means that the PDP is very wary and very suspect of the actions of INEC. And we are afraid, because at this point in time, we have carefully selected our candidates, and we are confident that Nigerians are on the side of the PDP because they have tested the two sides of the coin. And because they have tested the two sides of the coin, Nigerians are now very, they know the difference. Like a jingle in one of the media, the difference is clear.
well, let me get to you, Ibrahim Modubo. The SDP is one of the political parties that collectively form the Inter-Party Advisory Council. Now, the extension, did you welcome the extension? Your party, the SDP?
Well, we welcome the extension. Not for anything, for the fact that it has given us the latitude, to put a lot of things in proper perspective. You see, there's this hide and seek game between, and then cat and mouse, this kind of, this thing between PDP and APC.
Yeah. What do you mean, cat and mouse?
Yes, there's this kind of, game, hidden agenda that they have. They are always trying to outwit one another in terms of bringing up candidates. The PDP had just been on the wings. They've already set up their convention date. And unfortunately, 2 days or so or thereabout,
a day before,
to the convention, INEC shifted the goalpost. And it gave them any breathing space to also shift. Otherwise, they would have also shifted. So as to see that they harvest from the consequences of the presidential primaries. Because there are a lot of, politicians, they are a lot of alignments and realignments, so to say. There are some people now, with this presidential decision yesterday, there's every possibility of some politicians moving into APC, coming to SDP, coming to MPP, and what have you. Some of them might decide to leave. So, you see, to us, INEC has been as constant as the Northern Star. But unfortunately, for them to have succumbed to the whims and caprices of the intra-party, which to me is further guided. In my place, they say if you see a bear dancing on the road, there must be a drummer between the drums in the bush. There's every possibility that there has been this, hands in glove relationship between the inter-party, the government at the center, and also the INEC. Because for now, APC is going to harvest from this primaries of yesterday because they have been waiting on the wings to see the possibilities of a PDP bringing up a candidate. If they see where the candidate comes from, it will be a determining factor to them also bringing up a candidate. So to us, as a minority party, the SDP, we are very happy. Because if these two big parties, once they finish, we are sure of harvesting a lot of these big-time politicians coming into our party. And our doors are open. We hope and pray that once they finish, we are going to do our own. Even if it is on the last day, we will do our own. And let us see the possibility. Because we are ready to form government. We are ready to beat APC and PDP. We have structures, we have everything on ground, solid structures that we know by 2023 we are going to form government.
Well, let me just say, considering the fact that you've been an active member of the APC until recently, one would think what actually made you to leave the APC? Going by a political trajectory,
yes.
You've been in APP, then AMPP, and then AMPP was part of the legacy party that formed the APC.
Sure.
What made you to exit?
Politics, that's the dynamics of politics, and that's the beauty of it. It gives you the latitude to move to where you think you can make progress. I strongly believe that as an APC stalwart, I did my best. I defended the party in most of the media cycles and everything. I did my best. But to me, after having due consultations with my people and also due consultation with my own conscience, I believe that APC today is not the answer. Because I've seen the way the movement, of the party, especially looking at the chairmanship election that was held, because I was a very strong apostle or supporter of Al-Makura. Al-Makura did very well. He went on campaigns everywhere in this country, sold himself, spent a lot of money. But at the end of the day, they came and hijacked You know, it's just like snatching victory from the jaws of, snatching the victory from the jaws of,
Snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, but then snatching
then defeat
yes.
from the jaws of victory.
Yeah.
Because I strongly believe Al-Makura had the answer, and I was one of those that canvassed and campaigned for him. But unfortunately, the way they came and brought, it was a kind of a mafia arrangement that they came and brought Abdullah Adam, which to me, it is against the dictates of democracy. And that was one of the reasons that informed my leaving APC. I left because I had sympathy for Al-Makura, and I'm not there.
Yes, let me get back to you, Alhaji Umar. Ibrahim Modibo did say something like, when you see a bird dancing, there is a drummer somewhere. Do you share the same, apparently making allusion to the fact that INEC perhaps might have been responding to a certain drummer somewhere?
Well, perhaps. I do not disagree with him. The only thing I don't agree with him is in the evolution of political parties.
Yes.
And the manner in which they have evolved to this particular stage. I don't think there are any other political parties in Nigeria, even if though INEC has registered some, you know, it's just like the American system. There are a lot of political parties in America, but you only have the Democrats and the Republicans. In Nigeria, it is the APC and the PDP. As it is now, the contest is between the two, and the cat and mouse game he is talking about is the cat and mouse game that involves you know, the APC alone. The APC are waiting in the wings to see who we field. That is why they are not, the number of their presidential aspirants have skyrocketed. You know, they have initially they said that by their system they were zoning it to the south, but because they are afraid that the PDP has left the thing open, they also came to say we have also left it open. Now, leaving it open also gives room for where it will go in the openness of the whole thing. If, for instance, yesterday Wiki had emerged, then perhaps maybe Goodluck Jonathan or Ahmed Tinubu or any other, or Osinbajo from the south will have been their own candidate. Now, the dilemma is who are they going to present in the north to counter Atiku Abubakar? Because Atiku Abubakar is a no-go area. Yes, it's a smoking gun.
I see.
Yes, he is like one of the logos of any political. He is everywhere.
Well, Ibrahim, let me come back to you. Now, the extension, like you say, parties like yours, they welcome it. Now, are you making any overtures, perhaps, to welcome aggrieved members from other political parties?
Yes, we are, by virtue of our composition as one of the leading opposition political parties in Nigeria. SDP has had a long history, a history and tradition of excellence, tradition of, conviction, tradition of having, a very formidable political structure in the country. You see, the politics of now and the politics of today, forget our APC and PDP. Atiku Abubakar is just another Olo of the North in Nigeria. He has always been defeated in elections. And therefore, this time around in 2023, he will also be defeated. So we are at the wings, waiting for the APC candidate. If they make mistake of bringing in another candidate, of which they are conversing like Lawal, Senate President, as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't have the antecedent, he doesn't have the structure, and he doesn't have the wherewithal. And even the political dynamics of the North does not favor him, because the whole of his tribe, they are no more than 500,000 to 1 million. They are not up to. And therefore, the Northeast has a tradition. The Northwest, they know a person. Somebody like Atiku is a very formidable candidate. Whether you like it or not, you cannot wish him out of the system because he has been entrenched, he has built up structures, and this is a man that has been able to pay his dues within the Committee of Dynamics of Politics in Nigeria. Therefore, to counter them, we have the key to defeat incumbents and also to defeat aspirants like Atiku. The SDP, I can tell you, we are now getting set. We are waiting on the wings because we are already have our own people that are coming in. So when they come in, and with the changes that we need, because if you look at Nigeria today, they are tired of PDP, they are tired of APC. They've rolled, and they've also seen, Nigerians have also seen how they'll be able to destroy the system. They have destroyed the legacies of Sardana, Amadou Bello, and Olo. They have been able to destroy any developmental structure because of their either corruption or corruptive tendencies, lack of the wherewithal to look at the issue of security, insecurity, issue of corruption, issue of provision of social infrastructure. Every time, death profile. All the two parties. Now, the answer is SDP. If, perchance, the party gets a very formidable candidate, I'm telling you, we're waiting on the wings. We are going to form government in 2023.
Okay.
Mark my words.
Thank you, Ibrahim. We'll get back to you, Umar, once we come back from this break. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we get to the reaction to Malam Umar to some of the claims made by Ibrahim Modibo. Stay. Welcome back, viewers. In case you are just tuning in, you are watching Sunday Politics on Trust Television. And with me in the studio tonight, Malam Ibrahim Modibo, a stalwart of the Social Democratic Party, actually the vice chairman of the Social Democratic Party, and Umar Sani, a stalwart of the People's Democratic Party. Before we went on break, Ibrahim Modibo raised a number of issues, one of which is perhaps the thing about the newly elected presidential flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party, and that he doesn't see the candidate winning. How do you react to that?
Well, I do not believe that we should forget that politics has, a process, and because you lose, Atiku has only been on the ballot twice. This will be his third time of being in the ballot. And don't forget that the incumbent was on the ballot 3 times and he lost. And yet he was able to clinch it in his 4th attempt. So the fact that Atiku has been on the ballot twice and he is on the ballot now does not mean that he is not our Abraham Lincoln. So we are very confident that with the way the country is and the way the things are, I do not see anywhere that Atiku will be a loser in this game. Okay. Secondly, the issue of people decamping or leaving the party, or the PDP, is an illusion, and it will not work, because the beauty of the newly amended Electoral Act 2022 is that if you lose in a particular primary, an election, you cannot go to another political party and contest. So it does not give room for people decamping anyhow, because if you lose here, you can go and gain it somewhere else. However, for ordinary party members who are lovers of the party, I cannot see why you will leave a party that you have nurtured, that has continuously stayed in the horizon for over 20 years now, and then for you to leave to a party that is just an upcoming party, trying to catch up with the nuances and the challenges of politicking.
Are you saying now that the possibility of a third force emerging is nil?
Well, any third force that is emerging is dead on arrival.
Well, let me get to you, Ibrahim Modibo, because from what he has said, and the parties like yours, the SDP, and of course there is the latest kid on the block, so to say, the NNPP, which is getting recognized, getting recognition. The idea of a third force, you think perhaps is a nullity?
Let me lay this philosophical foundation based on the dictates or the sayings of George Santayana, the famous philosopher. He said, if experience is not retained, infancy is perpetual. Those that forget the past are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah, Frantz Fanon.
Frantz Fanon.
Yes.
But Joyce Santayana, this is his major quote, very influential. You see, my brother, Haji Mohammed Ayasani, forgot the SDP has a longer history than PDP. SDP was there since the time of Abiola. You remember how he won the election. When was PDP formed?
Well, presumed winner of the June 12th.
No, he won. It was not even presumed because already the country has already given him that latitude. That
are you equating the SDP now with the possible third force? Are you working in alliance with other political parties?
Could be. In politics, don't underestimate the influence of politicians. Within 24 hours, things might change. So what I'm saying, I know from the point I'm coming from, assuming without necessarily conceding to some of these fundamental flaws of the PDP and APC, we are set. And I can tell you that Nigerians want a change. And this change is coming from the third force. And this third force is being spearheaded by our party and also the NPP. So there might be, because to me, let me tell you, looking at the political dynamics of Nigeria, whether we like it or not, in the north, if APC makes the mistake of fielding Ahmed Lawal, they will never win this election. I'm telling you. But if there is that task force that will come, maybe between Kwankwaso and others that will come and then form a very strong alliance, there's every possibility.
With the SDP or with?
No, there are a lot of parties that are talking. We are not saying we are bringing up our own candidate. We will bring out our own candidate. But if talks have gone far, and if there's a need for us to have alignments or alignments, why not? In politics, there's no permanent friend, nor is there a permanent enemy. That's why yesterday I was in APC and I left. Because I felt it was a good place for me. Because of these dictatorial tendencies where you come and pick a candidate, pick the chairman, pick a presidential candidate that doesn't even have, the wherewithal of Nigeria. It doesn't have the confidence of the electorates. So if you are bringing up somebody like that, and you are matching him with a political king kong like Atiku, honestly, you are bound to go for defeat. So we need a third force that could match, quote and unquote, balance of terror. Terror in the sense that this is somebody that has a formidable force. So we need another person of class and distinction, another person with intellectual capacity and political sagacity to form a hard team to sell a third force. And if we get that, we have sailed through.
Well, Umar, let me go back to what transpired recently at the conduct of the presidential primaries. A lot of, drama, the expected drama did not actually happen. We thought it was going to be a close call. What really happened?
Well, you see, politics is about lobbying, and, negotiations, alignments and realignments as to how to move forward. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who is a very famous politician and who is second to, in terms of popularity in Nigerian politics, second to Muhammadu Buhari in terms of popularity, did his homework very well. He employed a lot of persuasion on all the other aspirants, and all of them, except of course a very few, decided to withdraw for him. Most of them withdrew for him. Those who didn't actually won only, for instance, Bola Mohammed won only his state, because there are 20 local governments in Bauchi state, and he got 20 votes, which means only people from his state voted for him. Now, coming to Bukola Saraki, at least he has traversed. He has gotten votes from here and there. And so, if Bukola Saraki's votes were spoilers to Atiku, again, Udom's votes were also spoilers to Wike, and Ayim Pius Ayim, 14 votes and 38 votes. So they were, the usual razzmatazz that normally greets such an occasion was not there, because the contest was very keen, and it was a contest between Atiku Abubakar and Wike, and at the end, the best won the contest.
Well, let me just get to you again, Ibrahim. Now, the position of INEC, when INEC extended, which you welcome. Now, perhaps, is there any fear being entertained in that there could be another possible extension that it will perhaps or affect the overall conduct of the election?
Well, you see,
actually, this question should have gone to Umar.
Yes, I strongly believe that the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud, is a very serious-minded person, a man of character, a man of distinction, and a man of integrity. And I hold him onto that premise. I do not believe that he might pander to the whims and caprices of a lot of politicians almost every time. It's not like APC. That is always every day now they will be changing goalposts. Today they will say they have shifted. Tomorrow, don't be surprised that by 6 and 7 they might shift it to 9th, which will be the final day. Just because they had wanted to make sure that PDP, which is the main rival party, brings out a candidate. Now that they have brought a candidate, why can't they elect a credible candidate that will come and perform? But my fear is they are afraid of implosion. Implosion in the sense that they know for sure that if they try to handpick the way they handpick the national chairman, who is not even popular within his own environment, talk less of Nigeria as a whole, and who presumably acts as a dictator, because for today, if you look at the papers, he has all along been taking decisions alone. You can see the papers, they said one national vice chairman Northwest was accused of taking decisions. So if they bring that kind of presidential candidate, if they bring, by not pandering to the whims and caprices of Nigerians and Democrats of conscience, by imposition, there the trouble lies, and we're going to benefit and harvest from it. We are not looking for people to come to us because we want them to contest.
I'm afraid, Ibrahim, I have to stop you there. Perhaps Umar will have a last final word concerning the extension of the deadline.
Well, the extension of, like I said,
in 1 minute.
Yes, the extension of the deadline. You know, I have tremendous respect for Professor Mahmoud, and because when we were in government, he was in TED Fund, and he was given a very, very important assignment where he went around all the universities, collected information, and came and delivered a very powerful PowerPoint presentation. However, on this election matters, in 2019, his performance was below expectation. We expect that in 2023, because that is his exit period, his performance will increase because he has introduced so many reforms into the system that should lead to a credible election.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for gracing our studios today. We thank you very much. We hope next time when we extend our invitation, you'll be gracious to turn up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, inshallah.
You're most welcome.
Yes.